Winston Churchill. Author Selzer-McKenzie. Sir Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill, K.G., O.M., C.H., T.D., F.R.S., P.C., Can. 30th of November, 1874 left square bracket 1 right square bracket 24th of January, 1965, was a British politician known chiefly for his leadership of the United Kingdom during World War II. He served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1940 to 1945 and again from 1951 to 1955. A noted statesman and orator, Churchill was also an officer in the British Army, a historian, a Nobel Prize-winning writer, and an artist. During his army career, Churchill saw combat in India, in the Sudan and the Second Boer War. He gained fame and notoriety as a war correspondent and through contemporary books he wrote describing the campaigns. He also served briefly in the British Army on the Western Front in World War I, commanding the 6th Battalion of the Royal Scots Fusiliers. At the forefront of the political scene for almost 50 years, he held many political and cabinet positions. Before the First World War, he served as President of the Board of Trade, Home Secretary and First Lord of the Admiralty as part of the Asquith Liberal government. During the war he continued as First Lord of the Admiralty until the disastrous Battle of Gallipoli caused his departure from government. He returned as Minister of Munitions, Secretary of State for War and Secretary of State for Air. In the interwar years, he served as Chancellor of the Exchequer in the Conservative government. After the outbreak of the Second World War, Churchill was again appointed First Lord of the Admiralty. Following the resignation of Neville Chamberlain on 10 May, 1940, he became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and led Britain to victory against the Axis powers. Left square bracket 2 right square bracket Churchill was always noted for his speeches, which became a great inspiration to the British people and embattled Allied forces. After losing the 1945 election, he became leader of the opposition. In 1951, he again became Prime Minister before finally retiring in 1955. Elizabeth II offered to create him Duke of London, but this was declined due to the objections of his son Randolph, who would have inherited the title on his father's death. Left square bracket 3 right square bracket upon his death the Queen granted him the honour of a state funeral, which saw one of the largest assemblies of statesmen in the world. A descendant of the famous Spencer family, left square bracket 4 right square bracket Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill, like his father, used the surname Churchill in public life. Left square bracket 5 right square bracket his ancestor George Spencer had changed his surname to Spencer Churchill in 1817 when he became Duke of Marlborough, to highlight his descent from John Churchill, 1st Duke of Marlborough. Winston's father, Lord Randolph Churchill, the third son of John Spencer Churchill, 7th Duke of Marlborough, was a politician, while his mother, Lady Randolph Churchill, née Jenny Jerram, was the daughter of American millionaire Leonard Jerram. Born on 30th of November, 1874 in a bedroom in Blenheim Palace, Woodstock, Oxfordshire. 6 right square bracket he arrived 8 months after his parents' single quote hasty marriage. Left square bracket 7 right square bracket Churchill had one brother, John Strange Spencer Churchill. Independent and rebellious by nature, Churchill generally did poorly in school, for which he was punished. He entered Harrow School on 17th of April, 1888, where his military career began. Within weeks of his arrival, he had joined the Harrow Rifle Corps. Left square bracket 8 right square bracket he earned high marks in English and history and was also the school's fencing champion. Winston Churchill's father, Lord Randolph Henry Spencer Churchill. He was rarely visited by his mother, then known as Lady Randolph, and wrote letters begging her to either come to the school or to allow him to come home. His relationship with his father was a distant one. He once remarked that they barely spoke to each other. left square bracket 9 right square bracket. Due to this lack of parental contact, he became very close to his nanny, Elizabeth Ann Everest, who he used to call Woomanie. Left square bracket 10 right square bracket left square bracket 11 right square bracket. His father died on 24th of January, 1895, aged just 45, leaving Churchill with the conviction that he too would die young, so should be quick about making his mark on the world. Churchill described himself as having a speech impediment, which he consistently worked to overcome. After many years, he finally stated, "My impediment is no hindrance." Trainee speech therapists are often shown videotapes of Churchill's mannerisms while making speeches, and the Stuttering Foundation of America uses Churchill, pictured on its homepage, as one of its role models of successful stutterers. This diagnosis is confirmed by contemporaries writing in the 1920s, 1930s and 1940s. The Churchill Center, however, flatly refutes the claim that Churchill stuttered, while confirming that he did have difficulty pronouncing the letter S and spoke with a lisp. Left square bracket 12 right square bracket. His father also spoke with a lisp. Left square bracket 13 right square bracket. The National Cluttering Association, however, maintains that Churchill had not a stutter but a clutter. Churchill met his future wife, Clementine Hozier, in 1904 at a ball in Crewe House, home of the Earl of Crewe, and his wife Margaret Primrose, daughter of Archibald Primrose, 5th Earl of Rousseaubury. 14 right square bracket. In 1908, they met again at a dinner party hosted by Lady St. Helier. Churchill found himself seated beside Clementine, and they soon began a lifelong romance. Left square bracket 15 right square bracket. He proposed to Hozier during a house party at Blenheim Palace on 10th of August, 1908, in a small temple of Diana. Left square bracket 16 right square bracket. On 12th of September, 1908, they were married in St. Margaret's, Westminster. The church was packed. The Bishop of St. Asaph conducted the service. Left square bracket 17 right square bracket. In March 1909, the couple moved to a house at 33 Eccleston Square. Winston's mother, Lady Randolph Churchill, their first child, Diana, was born in London on 11th of July, 1909. After the pregnancy, Clementine moved to Sussex to recover, while Diana stayed in London with her nanny. Left square bracket 18 right square bracket. On 28th of May, 1911, their second child, Randolph, was born at 33 Eccleston Square. Left square bracket 19 right square bracket. Their third child, Sarah, was born on 7th of October, 1914 at Admiralty House. The birth was marked with anxiety for Clementine, as Winston had been sent to Antwerp by the cabinet to stiffen the resistance of the beleaguered city, after news that the Belgians intended to surrender the town. Left square bracket 20 right square bracket. Clementine gave birth to her fourth child, Marigold Frances Churchill, on 15th of November, 1918, 4 days after the official end of World War I. Left square bracket 21 right square bracket. In the early months of August, the Churchill's children were entrusted to a French nursery governess in Kent named Melrose. Clementine, meanwhile, travelled to Eaton Hall to play tennis with Hugh Grosvenor, 2nd Duke of Westminster, and his family. While still under the care of Melrose, Marigold had a cold, but was reported to have recovered from the illness. As the illness progressed with hardly any notice, it turned into septicemia. Following advice from a landlady, Rose sent for Clementine. However, the illness turned fatal on